Hello, my name is Hersh and welcome to the HERshyt Show. Well, a little bit about it. You're gonna laugh, you're gonna cry, you'll probably cuss at me, but that's alright. I just want to bring to you the realization of what's really going on in this world that a lot of people are afraid to speak on. Enjoy. So, welcome to this week's the HERshyt Show. We're having special moments this morning, but that's okay. We're gonna get it together. We're gonna get it together. I'm gonna get it together.
We're gonna get it together.
Yes. Teamwork makes dream work. But this month is Domestic Violence Month. Okay. Domestic Violence Awareness Month.
So October is Domestic Violence.
Mm-hmm. Okay. I saw that when I was at the police station last week. Not getting locked up, but I was at the, people that know me be like, what's she do now? I ain't been locked up in a very long time. But this month is Domestic Violence Awareness Month. And we've done a show on it before. I think it was before you came.
Okay.
And stuck with it. But it wasn't that long. It was maybe like 15 minutes.
Okay.
But domestic violence is a serious ass topic. And it's not just women.
That's true.
Men as well. Men do become victims of domestic violence. And they... for whatever reason, masculinity, pride, ego, whatever reason, they will not report the woman.
Well, as a masculine man, that's considered weak. You know what I mean? Like, yeah. That's the persona or whatever. But
even in the military, let me tell you, and my old battle buddy had hit me up and was talking about it. The military sexual trauma. Mm-hmm. That's going on, with young soldiers that are missing, or, they put them as AWOL. The chain of command will say, well, we don't know where they're at, and they found the one young lady, Vanessa Gillian, out at Fort Hood. She was actually chopped up in 5 different pieces. Yeah, like she was chopped up in 5 different locations around the same area. And it took a civilian private investigator to find her. And come to find out, it was somebody in her unit. She went to the armory, to the armory room, and that's what her phone, her keys, everything was still in there. But the chain of command was like, "Oh, she's AWOL, absent without leave or whatever."
Who did it?
Oh yeah, but it took months. The family had to stay on top of it.
Oh, yeah, we know that.
The chain of command, but in the military, men do get assaulted just as much as females do. They get sexually harassed. They get touched. They get grabbed. They get groped. They get, and I think the statistics was 1 out of every 4 men in their lifetime will be physically assaulted. And then 1 out of 6 is like something else. I put up the statistics on our website. I'd have to put up some more. But if you go on the National Coalition Against Domestic Violence or Domestic Violence Hotline, you can actually call the number.
Okay. If
you need to reach out and speak to somebody. The Domestic Violence Hotline is 1-800-799-7233. Again, that number is 1-800-799-7233. And the National Coalition Against Domestic Violence number, 303-839-1852. Again, that number is...
sound like an infomercial.
Right.
303-839-1852.
Make sure you call them for real. And we're over here giggling and whatnot. But you can go on
women. It's a very serious thing, really.
Yeah. And there's actually a website, womenslaw.org. You can search by state to get information like shelter information. Domesticshelters.org. Males and females alike. But the sad part is there's not a lot of resources out there for men. That is something that we need to...
most men are taught you will never touch a woman. Never put your hands up. And that's a lot of it, too. They just don't know. They're not going to hit back, Mm-hmm. And it's like, these women know that.
Mm-hmm.
To me, don't ask my opinion on that. But anyway,
listen, to me, if she acts like a man, knock her ass out. But
just saying,
I'm not really giving you permission to do.
We're not saying that, but we're being. I'm all about equality,
But you can grab them, you can hold them, you can pin them down.
Yeah, not like hit. I'm not saying. Well,
I taught mine, listen, you ain't got to beat her like a man, but you handle your bit. Don't let no woman just run up on you like that. You could just push her back, just one good.
Okay, explain exactly what is domestic violence. Some people already don't even know what that means.
So domestic violence, you have situations of terroristic threats. You got not just physical, it's mental.
Psychological. Mm-hmm.
Psychological, yeah. Emotional. There is different levels of domestic violence, you're right. Mm-hmm. It's not just when somebody just comes up and
hits you or anything like that. There's several different aspects of it.
Yeah. And the biggest thing is you can call 911. A lot of people are afraid to call 911. And domestic violence isn't just between man and wife or boyfriend and girlfriend. These are family members as well.
Yep.
This is household. You can be charged with battery, aggravated assault, simple battery, battery 1, battery 2. Like there's so many different levels of domestic violence charges. We would legit be here all day.
Elder abuse.
We're not police officers.
No.
So we can't deep dive into that, and we don't know every state's law. So definitely get with your state. Go on the womenslaw.org and search by state, and you can actually see the different laws that are out there. I researched it myself. So I did that before we sat down to record.
What about somebody who is not involved in it, but knows somebody who's getting beat or whatever, and they're too afraid to go forward? I mean,
that's a sticky situation.
I know. I sound like what? Do you get involved in it? Do you call anonymous? What can you do, you think?
You could call anonymous for somebody else, but are you in a situation to where you can get that person out of that environment? Because soon as that phone call is made, anonymous or not, you just opened up a can of worms.
Mm-hmm. That's why people are terrified. Just mind their own business.
Exactly. So if I go over there, say, growing up in our household, I never called the police. Mm-hmm. I didn't. I never called the police. I try to get involved in the situation when there was abuse? Yes, I did. Mm-hmm. My little bitty self tried. I tried.
I know.
That's all I knew what to do, was to, protect my mom. And then it would turn on me, or it would turn on my brothers. One way or the other, somebody was getting beat. But we didn't call the police. The neighbors would call the police, thankfully. And sometimes they didn't even call the police. So we just had to deal with it. Mm-hmm. So to me, it's really, if your friend or your family member can't be strong enough, then don't just be that one to call 911 and then wash your hands of it. Mm-hmm. You don't need to be calling anybody unless you're there to be able to get that individual out of that situation. But it takes that individual to want to get out of that situation. And sometimes we do have to be that.
And sometimes they're just brainwashed. They do want to get out. They're just so wrapped up in their manipulation and brainwash. That a man, you can't live without me. You can't survive without me.
And women do the same thing.
Yeah, it goes both ways. Whenever I'm talking equality here. But it's no.
Yeah. And this ain't like the 80s or the 70s, 80s, 90s, where we could only be a waitress or a housekeeper at a hotel, or you know what I'm saying. This ain't them times. There is so many different resources. It has expanded so much. Look at the Me Too project. Mm-hmm. That you got the Me Too project that ran rampant, and the Me Too about sexual harassment. Mm-hmm. You had celebrities coming out the woodworks. Women are not being quiet no more, but we also need the fellas to not be quiet as well.
Yeah, it's becoming empowered, Yeah. You know that there is support and somebody's going to back you.
Yeah. Don't just be protective over women and stand by us and say, yes, I'm with her, she too. No, you need to say me too. If something has happened to you, speak on it. It doesn't make you lesser than a man. And I could say that, from a woman's perspective. However, just...
No, I totally respect the man when they respect themselves. Mm-hmm. And not let everyone touch them. Mm-hmm. That's, to me, because this is your temple, your body. And it's some people, and I respect that more than anything. I'm like, okay, I like that.
And don't place yourself in situations to be accused of something.
Yes.
Because there are some trifling ass people out here that will try to set you up.
Unfortunately. You just never know. That's why I keep myself. I'm like, no, we good.
I think I seen pictures of like Keanu Reeves and his hands, like every time
he don't touch nobody. He's always like, that's smart.
His hands are legit, like fingers wide open behind every picture. Any female that runs up on him to take a picture, he's like, okay.
And I'm like,
yeah. Like, I'm going to take a picture, but
that's exactly what he does.
No hands. Yeah. He's very smart with that. Very smart with that. And they try to, oh my God, it's Keanu Reeves, blah, 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 blah. And he's like, okay, cool. just don't run up on me. We're good. And I respect that out of him. But seriously, like, there's too many people dying by the hands of other people. There's too many people committing suicide because of the psychological trauma they've had to deal with. And that's by drugs and all. And we're going to take a break real quick. I'll be right back. Got a lot going today. The spiritual guide. What's going on today, man? Because today is just off. Today is just really, really, really off, and I can't do this.
The cosmos.
Oh my God! But domestic violence, for real. Back to domestic violence. If you are a victim of or a survivor of, there's other resources out there way better than it used to be 20 years ago, even 10 years ago. And men, don't be ashamed to reach out and get help as well. You don't have to blast it out on the billboard and put it on social media and all of that good stuff for attention. It's for you. It's for you to get better and to be able to get past some situations.
And even bring awareness to the other person that it's not right.
And definitely, if somebody was doing something to flee, would I get involved? Probably, I would get involved. But that's just the type of individual I am. And 9 times out of 10, we're going to speak on it first. And we're going to come up with a game plan. And then we'll execute, and whatever unfolds as we're executing unfolds. Because you can plan all day long for a beautiful picnic, but it might end up being cold or rainy or whatever. You can't predict everything. You can't plan everything.
Just set it in motion and roll with it.
Yeah. But once that cat is out of the bag, sweetheart, it's not going to be pretty, and it's not going to be easy. I'm not going to sit here and say you need to leave him or you need to leave her, and it's not my place to tell you that. Now, if you so choose to stay in that situation to have something to bitch about or to discuss around your friends and your family, or you to vent about because you have to have that chaos and that
that's a real thing too.
Yeah, people do stay in those situations just to have a discussion to talk about.
It's codependency. It's trauma bonding. A lot of it's trauma bonding, whether they realize it or not.
Don't call me no more.
It's a cycle of abuse, one or the other. That's trauma bonding.
Once you decide that that's your life, and I realize that the only time you reach out to me is to bitch about your significant other, male or female, I cut that conversation. I don't even want to hear about it no more, because I'm going to eventually tell you, guess what? You chose to stay in that situation. And that might sound mean, but we can't save everybody. And I'm not going to waste my energy to attempt. If
and
somebody...
I'm like you. I mean, we're kind of the same in a lot of ways. Like, if I know, man or woman, but say a woman's in an abusive situation, yeah, I'm going to go above and beyond and do what I got to do. That's one thing that triggers me. I do not.
But then we end up looking like a fool.
Yeah, but we know we're not. In our hearts, and that's all that matters to me. I'm like, you think whatever you want to.
Yeah.
I know I'm doing the right thing.
Yeah.
I know I'm doing my good deed.
But if I'm coming over there and getting involved, but there has been some situations where people get involved with situations and it's not even what this individual made it out to be. You know what I mean?
Yeah, there was an acquaintance, I guess you'd say. I don't want to call her a fan, but anyway. Sorry. It was constant drama, constant chaos, and try to pull me in it, pull somebody else in it. And it was like over and over and over. It's kind of like life coaching. Look, you've got to get away from this person, causing chaos. Everyone, but then they fed off each other.
Mm. So it was toxic.
She would get the help, and then all of a sudden, back again. Go get the help, complain, whine, and people would donate to her, give her stuff, and then same situation again. It's like they were magnets to each other. That's so I finally was like, "You choosing this?"
That's that attention. I know somebody right now that does that.
Yes.
And then they'll send me a message and say, well, this is what XYZ, and he's doing this and he's doing that. And then if I don't respond, like 10 minutes later, it's a whole post about it on Facebook. And then it's, for that attention. Am I really ugly? Am I really just this type of person? Like, bitch, listen.
Yes, you ugly.
Yes. Like, listen, you 40 and above. This ain't no high school shit. This is adulting life.
Mm-hmm.
As an adult, if you so choose to stay in a toxic situation because y'all are magnetized or y'all are clinging together and y'all are feeding off of each other, and you choose to do that,
and then turn around,
call 911 because I'm not coming. Call 911.
Yeah, that stuff. I mean, I can see it my way. I'm like, no, you're choosing to be a victim here. I'm not,
because you're gonna end up dead. Or you're going to end up hospitalized with some missing teeth or something. Like that, it's not cute. There are people out here literally in situations that they are crawling to get out of. They're trying to get out of.
Terrified to even speak about it.
And then you have others that want to put it on front page to be that shiny star or whatever. Maybe you are screaming out for help in your own kind of way. But until you are fully ready to walk away from that situation, don't get other people involved.
Amen. Seriously.
Because we're the type of individual, and there was one situation, I think I've read it in a news article not too long ago, where the girl and her boyfriend get into an altercation. She calls her brothers. Her brothers come over there, and now both of the brothers done lost their life because they ran up on dude. Like you, I'm all for protecting my siblings. I'm all for, but people know who to call. That's the thing. You know what I mean? Like people, they would call me because they knew, the old school term, my heart didn't pump Kool-Aid. So I would get involved in any situation back in the day. You call me now, I'm asking 50, 11 questions. I want to know who, what, when, where, how. Like I need to know what's going on and what part did you play in it as well. Because not every so-called domestic violence victim is actually a victim or a survivor. Sometimes they antagonize it and start it and then want to cry wolf after it's all said and done because that man finally got tired of this shit. Or your girlfriend, a lesbian situation, your girlfriend done put her hands on you and you protected yourself and now she runs and cries wolf. Boyfriends the same way. I done seen some boyfriends with some straight
wackadoodles, yeah.
Yeah, like, and then they want to cry wolf. Even homeboys do that, like homegirls, homeboys, so it can happen in any aspect. It's not just one demographic that it happens in. If you are a parent that is abusing their children, I'm not talking about an old school, let me give you 3 lashes from the switch that you picked off the tree outside.
I done that, my granny. Got picky ass switch. And I was like, okay.
But we got discipline.
So I was sitting there like, is this one gonna be hard? Is this gonna whip me? And I was trying to figure out the worst one I could find. I was like, oh, this one might break when it hits me. No. She said, go back and pick another switch.
No, the flimsy ones never broke.
That's what I had to pick, is them flimsy ones that whipped your tail.
Yeah, you had to have the flimsy ones, or she would braid them together. My mom would braid them together.
Oh, Lord, no.
Yeah, if you mess around and bring her 3 that don't, because there's 4 of us in the house, so if 3 out of them 4 could braid together, they was braiding together.
Ooh.
Yes, indeed. But that wasn't a beaut to us. It wasn't that.
No, we used to get back in the day, elementary school. I don't know how far up it went, but we would get whippings in school.
They stopped that.
Well, I couldn't imagine it now.
Hell no.
Oh my God, no, we did.
Yeah.
They get your imagination.
I never had to get a whooping in school.
I don't think I did either.
My brother did though. Oh my God, he did. But he snatched the paddle from the principal. It didn't work out so well for him. he didn't get his paddling at school. He got his ass beat at home. Cause yeah, that's a whole other, but you can't do that these days.
Oh no.
No, you can't. There is a big difference though between disciplining and abuse. And domestic violence is obviously not a discipline. Why are you disciplining your spouse?
Mm-hmm.
Why? Like,
control.
Yeah.
Narcissistic control.
There's been many of movies on it, many of documentaries on it, just situations we know of personally.
Yeah, the abuse that goes on behind closed doors. You have no idea about. Put that smiling face in the front, and it's a very real thing.
Makeup covers up a lot of things, and there's a lot of makeup that can cover up tattoos these days.
I know.
Just imagine.
And it looks great too, you know? You can never tell.
But men definitely reach out as well, even just for information. You know, you can reach out to get information for somebody that's within your circle. Put out information on social media. You know, once you find it.
And that's what we did with this person I was just talking about. Gave information, call this person, trying to give them some empowerment without getting involved. Because we knew if we got involved, there would be a turmoil. Because I'm not coming up with this deed. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? No. And I was like, yeah, I'll come, but it's not going to be nice.
Yeah.
You know, and I kept myself from that because I'm like, I'm not getting involved in that. You're creating it.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
trying to be mediator turned counselor turned
like,
hands off, because it's like you can only cry wolf so many times and people catch on to it. Not saying that every domestic violence person cries wolf, because there are quite a few that don't cry at all. Like you said, they cover it up and they on the outside with the cameras.
Well, there's like shame in it, and embarrassment. Like, this is embarrassing. I chose this person that everybody thinks is lovey-dovey, you know, and you know that could be embarrassing.
Yeah,
it's turmoil. You know, they're like, they don't speak about it.
Yeah, don't speak about it at all. There was there's actually a serial killer documentary I watched the other day on 2020. It was The Chameleon. He would legit get women and get like single mother type women, and then get between them and their family and create this turmoil to where she would just shove her family to the side and focus on him, and that they would move out of state or whatever. They ended up dead. And then the family was already, they were not speaking at the time, so the family didn't think too much about it. And come to find out, he done killed the women and the kids. Yes. And then he would go to this woman, and he would go like The Chameleon, but he would change his name too, and every female that he met. So there's a lot to it. So there's some chameleons out there.
They seek a vulnerable woman. They can see it a mile away.
And men, Dahmer.
You know, when you walk around, they look and see if you're gonna make eye contact.
Yeah.
You know, that kind of stuff. If a woman never makes eye contact, that's kind of a vulnerable type thing. I mean, I look at everybody in the eye.
Yeah.
I do. I don't know. I'm like.
But in some countries, you're not supposed to look people in the eye. But definitely. My daddy taught me to look somebody in their eyes.
And I'm not being rude. It's just like, that's how I can see. I mean, I can tell things by looking in your eyes, you know, and it's always been that way. And I don't mean it. I'm not intimidating at all. Look at me. I'm 5'2", you know, come on. So I'm just like, I just look somebody in the eye.
Because I want to see. Yeah. I want to see, you know, if you're telling me the truth or not. You can tell a lot by looking at
That's what I'm saying. That's why I'm like, okay, and it's not intimidation. It's just me making that connection. Like, okay, how you doing? I'm not afraid, you know.
I'm not afraid of you. And granted, I'm 5'1", 138 pounds.
I'm probably 5'1" too, but I like to claim I'm 5'2". Give me that inch.
I think she is.
Give me my inch. Somebody said, you are not 5'2". I was like, don't be hating.
With my shoes on.
I was like, give me my inch, all right?
Like, I'm not Billy Badass around this joker, but I've told people many a times through my life, you might whoop my ass, but you are going to remember me.
Exactly.
Afterward, you know, because I'm not afraid to get my ass whooped. I'm not afraid to get her. If it comes down to you and me, and you as a man I'm going to give every breath of my body to try to fight back. And I can speak on it because I have been in those situations. A lot of people can't say what they will or will not do if they haven't been in those situations. I can't believe you let her do X, Y. I can't believe you let him.
When you're at the spur of the moment, you can't.
You never know. You never. It's fight or
your
flight.
Adrenaline kicks in. Your fight or flight. And it just you really can't say that's a trauma type.
Yeah.
You don't really know.
Even happens in combat zone.
You don't know.
Billy Badass get out there all crunk, but as soon as some shit blow up, it's and there's that. So you don't know until you're in those situations of what's
the fight or flight is a very real stress response, and when that hits you, it's like you're not in your right mind, like you're ready to, it's a stress response. You really can't say what you do. I could say I'm doing too. I'll do that. No, I mean if I'm in that situation,
I guarantee you, I probably won't beat his ass. But I'm gonna have fun trying because it takes a lot of me to get me to fight.
Well, that's what experience and age for us.
Back in the day, it didn't take but that long.
But that's what our age and experience and maturity comes in. Now we like pick and choose. We're like, no, I know better.
Like I'm not.
I hate violence. To be honest, I can't stand it.
I don't like it.
You don't accomplish nothing. Nobody wins.
It's a waste of energy,
and it really is. But sometimes, I'm going to protect myself.
You have to be able to protect yourself.
If that includes swinging, whatever, I'm going to protect myself. I'll tell anybody that.
Yeah, you have to be able to protect yourself. And there's a fine line between protecting yourself and actually overkill. Remember, I actually called the police department one day just to get some clarifications.
Yeah, we needed some information,
And I was like, hey, so if this person is not supposed to be on the property, can we protect the property? Simple question. Like, what are my levels? And he said, ma'am, you can protect your property. He said, but there's a fine line between overkill and now you're in trouble because instead of pulling the trigger one time, you done lit off and emptied the clip.
Your whole cartridge out,
And now you done turned into a murder charge because now it's considered overkill. You wasn't protecting shit. I mean, you was protecting, but now you done turned into a murderer because it wasn't one shot, one kill. Or just take out their kneecap. Your biggest thing is to disable that individual, to disarm that individual.
Some people don't know how to shoot that way. Just shoot that thing. You'll land somewhere.
It scared the shit out of his friend. Something. You'll be able to do something. You might hit a tree. That's beside.
Well, my main thing is letting that person know
that you're not scared.
You're not playing, and you're not. No. Yeah. You're not messing around anymore.
Yeah. And even if you aim at the head, you're probably going to hit just the pinky toe anyway. So just the biggest thing is being able to. And the police told me, but you can call the sheriff's office and ask them questions. Even if it's a domestic violence situation inside the home, and this individual, and I'm not saying just significant others now. This is. Friends, family, significant other, whatever. And there is a situation that goes on. What's going to end up happening is if I'm protecting myself and I pick up something and swing and knock you the fuck out, if I continue to give you blows, then now I became the aggressor and not the one that was trying to protect myself. So there's a fine line. You have to know the difference.
And then again, that's where that fight or flight comes in. Yeah. What if you just a stress response, and can't help what you just
sometimes you just snap.
I mean, that's why I'm like.
But at some point, you've gone too far. At some point,
Let's say you have a knife and you. Yeah. That's me once or twice. But if you're like doing it 60 times,
turning into Chucky around the jump. No. Yeah. That's not protecting yourself. But we're not saying to go out and hurt anybody.
Absolutely not.
I'm saying get out of that situation. And I'm also TPOs are a fucking joke. But you still need it for legal purposes. And we've had experience where the individual that they were supposed to go through, because you call the police department and you say, look, I want to put a restraining order on somebody. What is the process? In this particular county, they say, and I'm not talking about Cobb County. This is a different county. I don't know how Cobb County works. But they said you have to do this paperwork through XYZ, whatever. But the person that they were supposed to go through at this other location told her flat out, well, I'm going on vacation. I ain't got time to put your paperwork through.
The second time they tried it.
Like, come on, man. There's nobody else to pick up. So in these counties, and if y'all are in the positions where y'all are supposed to be processing these restraining orders, and it's not in-house with the police department, it's a separate domestic violence location. And the courthouses only do restraining orders on certain days of the week or whatever. That right there in itself is some bullshit. You're setting people up for failure. You're setting people up to get hurt. And that's not cool. So I advise everybody to call their police department and ask what the process is of the restraining order. And follow through with this restraining order to see if it actually works and what their real process is. I strongly, I mean, don't make up a fake name of getting a restraining order against, but ask them the steps and call the next location and see how their process works. Because we're not going to put the business out on Front Street, but if it's y'all still don't have it. It's ridiculous. It's flat out freaking ridiculous. So find the ways. These counties need to straighten up. The mayors need to get involved. You know, the governor needs to get involved of your state. That's where it falls in line with voting and what are they supporting, what are they not supporting, because people don't think about restraining orders until they need one. Mm-hmm. People don't think about domestic violence unless it's hitting home in their vicinity or somebody that they know. You know, so let's think about the broader picture for everybody. In the United States, it is illegal to do a domestic violence act. And if you are that individual that gets empowered by the fear that you instill in somebody by being violent, then you are a piece of shit.
What she said.
There's no other way to put it. You're a piece of shit. And you're going to run up on the right one, or that individual that you are abusing and taking advantage of, they're going to end up standing up and empowering themselves. And the first time that they have the ability to say no to you, I promise you, baby, that's the day that their entire mentality changes.
They're just like the whirlwind, like,
because now they have opened up the door to say no. Yep. And what do they do when you tell them no that first time? What?
I know, huh?
Huh? What do you mean no?
You're not gonna be my narcissistic supply no more? Huh?
You're not gonna let me suck the energy out of you no more?
What?
Yeah. And then they get more emboldened and more. They get more mad, and they think, well, so they're gonna throw themselves off because now you done threw them off track. People are only gonna do what you allow them to do. And yes, it is scary.
And they do word salad, stuff that don't make no sense, accusation, just lies.
I'm gonna kill you. Well, I was just playing. I was only thinking about it, but I'm not really gonna do it. Like that flip-floppy stuff, that it's not cool. Mm. The signs are there. Mm-hmm.
I know.
The signs are there, and it is literally up to you. Like from what I grew up in, I wish a motherfucker would. That's my level. And I'm not Billy Badass, but I will protect myself. Mm-hmm. I refuse to be in a domestic violence situation. I do. I can't. I saw it. I've been there, done that. Yeah. Was involved in it as a child. I'm not. Fuck that.
That's the experience I was talking about.
Yeah. As soon as I see one red flag, I'm like, bro, you want to fight? Do we want to go ahead and get this out of the way? You know what I mean? Like, we can't be together because that's wasting energy to me. I can't be with somebody that's toxic. I can't. You know, but if you are that individual that is in that situation and you have been looking for a sign to get out of that situation, here's your sign. We're telling you, get up the empowerment to say no. Do it little by little. You don't have to be boisterous about it. Mm-hmm. I'm leaving you. No, you're not. You saying that over and over and over again, you might leave for 10 minutes and come right back. Because you're really not. When you're really tired, you're not going to say shit. You're just going to go.
Yeah, it's just going to happen. To me, empowerment is that slow quietness that comes in. It's a lot of healing involved in that, too. And a lot of it's generational. Like, like my mom's generation and back. That's all they knew. It was like, get married to a man, have a family, you cater to the man. You know, it was like, our generation's like, huh? Do what?
I'm supposed to let them do what?
Huh? You can't what? Wash dish? What?
Yeah. No, that's not how this works, right?
Like, what now?
I know I got bad hearing, but I need you to say that one more time. No, I can't do it. And again, it's not just significant others; it's family members, and we've seen like grandmothers that raise their grandchildren that end up becoming abusive. In some sense, they get substance abuse disorder, and then they play the game of, oh, I got mental health issues. But if you're that individual that is threatening your grandmother for her medication, or I need more money, or I'm not going to let you see my kids because, you won't give me what I want. Like, I've seen this happen. Children and grandchildren do this to their mothers and grandmothers and grandfathers. It's mostly the grandmothers. Like, they take advantage of their grandmothers, and it's sickening. It is very much sickening. I've seen it from different aspects. I've seen it where a child did that to their mom and was like, I don't like you right now. You're not giving me my way. You're not going to see your grandkids. And then I have seen grandchildren say, you're going to give me some money. You're going to buy me this. You're going to buy me that, or I'm going to kill you. And, this and that and the third.
And you know what's going to happen. Yeah.
Yeah. And then they fake the funk. They fake the funk. As soon as they get what they want, they're cool. Ain't nothing wrong with them mentally no more.
Mm-hmm.
People feed into that bullshit.
It's just a snowball effect.
Yeah. And it's sad.
Sometimes you just give them something to shut them up. Oh, God, just get off my case. Here, take it,
Yeah.
And it's harassment. And
what I say during the substance abuse, like early on show, I was like, sometimes it takes the parents and the grandparents to cut that finance off, cut that help off. Mm-hmm. Sometimes you have to let them fail. Sometimes you have to be the one to call the police on them. Because let me tell you, there's no mental health hospitals out there like that. There's not. There's not. And sadly, there's not, unless you have some damn good insurance or deep pockets. There's really not. If you're on state insurance, Medicaid or whatever,
nope.
You might be in there 2-3 days.
A week, tops.
Yeah.
About $5,000 later, let them out, Mm-hmm. Just cycle.
Yeah. So guess what? Call the police. Most sheriff departments, they have their mental health programs. They have their own room. They might be living in a luxury, 3 hots and a cot in their own room because they have to take their medications and they don't want to. So different counties do different things. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? But you have to be that one. And I'm not saying just call the police on your baby every time they breathe wrong. I'm meaning actual domestic violence situations when enough is enough. And you need to log that shit. Log it down. Date, time. This is what they did. Date, time. None of us are perfect, but I be damned if I'm going to put myself in a situation to where I have to sleep with one eye open. And you shouldn't have to either. You shouldn't. I agree. You shouldn't. You got any final words on that one?
Nope. Hit the nail on the head.
I'm sure I missed something. But just to end this show, the suicide hotline, they actually have 988 now.
And you can text.
Yep. So you don't have to dial that long ass number. So if you are in a domestic violence situation or any situation to where you feel like you need to speak to somebody, please text 988 or dial 988 and get the assistance. There has been situations recently where I've read on military bases where kids were coming home from school and mommy and daddy was dead in the household from murder-suicide. Like, please get the help. I'm begging you. Domestic violence situations are not healthy for the offender or the one that is receiving. It's not healthy for neither one of y'all. Mm-hmm. And I will never take up for somebody that is committed any type of domestic violence just out of pure rage and ignorance. I will not. Fuck you. I will not. But you can change, and there is help. And if you know that you are that individual that has to feel boosted up and, roosted out with your feathers cocked or whatever, get fucking help. Please, get help. Get help. Get help. Stop beating on people, because not everybody's gonna be weaker than you, player. Men and women alike.
I agree.
Period. Men, speak up. If you were in a situation where she is abusing you, speak on it. Get her ass locked up. Why not? Why not?
It goes both ways. It really does.
Mm-hmm.
Just don't hear about the man part much.
No. And that's sad. We need to speak more about men's situations as well. I am not a man. I got some kind of titties. I promise you I was born a female. But I will speak out on the behalf of men because we know it happens.
Mm-hmm.
We know it happens. But until next time, this is the HERshyt Show.
Be sure to log on to youtube.com and subscribe to the HERshyt Show at TheRshytShow.